I assume you have watched or have seen the Virginia's performance against Syracuse. Just wondered what your thoughts were watching that, knowing you've got.
Yeah, I mean they're a hard team to defend. I mean they've got a very efficient offense. I mean, you know, Syracuse, no secret, plays 40 minutes of zone, and you know when those guys start to get in the groove shooting the ball, you know that won't be our answer. You know we have to be able to stick to Jerome and Guy and Hunter as best we can. It's a little bit harder, I think, to do that in a zone, and that's not who we are. I mean, will we throw a zone out from time to time? Sure, but again, they got some difficult shot makers, so got to do the best we can without fouling them.
You were successful against Guy and Jerome in the first game, 0 for 11 and 2 for 20 or something like that. How were you able to do that? And
well, I always think it's a combination of factors. You know, more the exception to the rule, them shooting that poorly. I think there was a couple of them that, quite honestly, were open looks that they normally make. I do think that we, you know, we have some really good perimeter defenders, guys like Quan that, you know, relish those type of challenges. You know, when we were in our zone, we tried to cover specifically Guy and Jerome before we covered the other guys. And again, I think a few of those misses were open looks, but for the most part, we didn't let them get open, and so their threes didn't go in, and they didn't shoot a ton of them.
Do you have to make many adjustments going into a second game like this? I mean, offensively or defensively, or in defensively?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a few adjustments that we found from game 1 to game 2. We didn't do exactly what we wanted to do in game 1, and so we got to adjust our way of doing things. I think offensively, we are who we are. We have to be able to score in the paint, 38-4. You know, we don't have to win the war in the paint, but we can't. We can't be on that short end of the stick to that degree.
Why did that happen? I don't think I'd ever heard of a 38-4.
A combination of things. I think our bigs missed several inside shots where they were in one-on-one coverage. You know, Virginia likes to double the post. They never felt the need to because we couldn't convert in one-on-one coverage. Virginia does an excellent job of limiting dribble penetration. That's why they have the best defense in the country, because they do it as a team, and we didn't crack that nut as much as we needed to. The looks that we got in transition, especially in the first half, were a byproduct of getting in the lane. That lane gets squeezed off by bigger players, and we kicked it out and we hit open looks. But when we had those short shots, especially in the first half, we've got to be able to convert them.
As the team enters March, this time of the season, does it almost feel like a do or die mindset to jump in?
I think guys are aware of the finality of things. You know, the last game of the regular season against probably the toughest opponent in the country, and then you know from there you're playing. You know, you lose, you're out. Our guys are well aware of that, though. We just have to continue to have a spirit about us coming to practice, you know, being excited to play. There's so many teams that, as much fun as this is at the end of the year, it becomes a long season, and teams just, they get resigned to the fact that practice is too long, and our team's not like that. And we got 3 grad transfers that want to continue their career and be a part of something that they set out to do. But yeah, I mean, you know, this is a time where people remember the games you play.
You gave your team a couple days of practice off. Do you feel like that was mission accomplished in getting them physically or mentally refreshed? Physically, for sure. I think mentally,
You know, our guys, it shows that they wanted to be in the gym. You know, they organized sort of a shoot-around by themselves on Tuesday. And that's the first for me. Every player was in the gym, music was blaring, you know, guys were getting shots up. It'd have been a lot easier for them to just say, hey, we'll come back to practice on Wednesday. And so we've always designed our practices to try to, have that spirit at the end of the year where guys are still excited to come to practice, want to continue to get better. And that was a really good sign for our coaching staff that they took the lead on that type of thing.
You're going to be either a 6 or 7 seed in the ACC. Not much difference is there in your, now I ask you, much difference, 6 or 7? Looks like you play, either way you're going to play one of 4 or 5 teams and then play one of 3 teams.
No, I mean, at this point, we're not going to get an extra bye. We're also not going to play on the first day. We're not playing on Tuesday. But, certainly who you play, their style of play, how often you've played them, the preparation it takes. So, yeah, a little bit of a difference. But, no, at this point, pretty much locked in. And, we got an opportunity to go in there and, improve a lot about our team, though, with this opportunity tomorrow.
I know what you said in the past when we've asked you about the NCAA seeding, of course. Do you feel like you have a chance in this last game, the ACC and the ACC tournament, to improve your standings, or how do you? You
absolutely do, because we're in the type of league that we're in. We're going to have these challenges that other leagues and other members in those leagues they don't get. So I mean, we're going to play a top. The second-ranked team in the country tomorrow. Who knows how the ACC tournament plays out, but if you win, I know you're going to be playing, those type of teams as well. So it doesn't do anything but boost your resume if you get those opportunities and you take advantage of them.
As a coach, how do you look at these kind of games you've got tomorrow? You're going in, obviously, underdog, playing against a really good team at each of the first time. I mean, do you get more excited, less excited, or even keel? How do you push it? Yeah,
more even keel for me. I just try to figure out, okay, what happened in game 1? What can we do differently? Where could we have been more effective? It's no secret we couldn't score in the paint. We've got to be able to figure out ways to give our players angles, to manufacture some more opportunities in that area. And again, I think defensively, for the most part, we played pretty well. We did a really good job on a very efficient offensive team. They're in their own building. I'm sure they're going to have a little bit more comfort to them. So we've got to be able to be even better on the defensive end, knowing that we're going to get their best shot on senior day.
I guess what I meant to ask that is, as a competitor and as a coach, do you relish the challenge, or? I
do. That's that's why you get in this profession. That's why you sign up for a league like the ACC to compete against the best this country has to offer.
You've got the last few games, Darius and DJ have both been improving. And oftentimes, when you get to this time of year, especially the tournaments, how deep your bench can be and how effective it is. If those two continue to improve or give you quality minutes, how much of a factor can that be for you guys?
Huge. Those guys can be difference makers, in their respective area, in the things that they bring to the table. Darius can be a menace on the defensive end and pressure the ball like nobody on our team. He can also, as we talked about, getting in the paint, he has an ability, because of his quickness and his strength, to get into the lane. And that's never been an issue. It's being able to make the right decision. And fortunately for our team and for Darius, over the last 3 weeks, he's made that right decision more often than not. I think he's found his confidence with shooting the ball and picking his spots on the offensive end. And VJ has really added to our offensive rebounding. He gives us a great size on the perimeter defensively. So those two guys playing at a higher level for us just really adds to our team.
Expect that? Did you have any inkling that eventually they would come around? Or?
I wanted that. We've been pushing and prodding and trying to figure out ways for those guys to really affect our team in a positive way. And I'm happy for them that they've stuck with it, continue to have really good attitudes and put the team first, and continue to try to improve. You want your team playing its best basketball of the season when the season matters the most, and to get two guys that have had some ups and downs and haven't been a factor at times during the year, to get them to the point where they're playing pretty daggone well. Says a lot about those two, but it really helps our team, as I said before.
Have you had any conversations with Sutton about his play recently? And, you know, I know that you said he hasn't stopped being a bulldog in practice and so forth, but he only had 3 rebounds for the shoot. He only had 3 rebounds the other night. What have you said?
Yeah, we've had a few talks with Dwayne. You know, he lost confidence, and again, I've said it in many a press conference. Confidence is a funny thing. You know, there were times where he was a first-team All-ACC type performer, and he has to worry about things that are under his control. His effort, his energy, his toughness level. You know, if he worries about that, and I know Dwayne always worries about winning, and I think part of his confidence feels like he lets teammates down when he's not playing very effective, but we need him to affect the game in ways outside of his shooting. You know, again, defensively, being a presence, offensively, you know, going to the glass, you know, driving the ball with confidence, you know, getting in the lane, taking contact. If he does those things and he focuses on those things, all the other stuff will work its way out.
Back to Darius, he's a guy that maybe wants to gamble a little bit more defensively, but have you had to sort of reprogram him a little bit and how he wants to pressure the ball to how you want him to play? Well,
I think, you know, there's a risk-reward, especially when you play against poised backcourt players. Kyle Guy isn't going to get rattled very much when you get into him. And I think you saw that in the first game. He just draws a foul. So Darius just has to know when to pick his spots. The gambling mentality, he's done a terrific job off the ball. He's a guy that recognizes when to take charges. You know, he keeps vision of his man a lot better than he did earlier on in the year. His concentration level has gone way up off the ball. So on the ball, it's just picking his spots on who he can rattle. You know, what is that ball handler looking for? Are they looking for a cutter? Or are they looking to drive you? Recognize those subtle differences, but we do need him to pressure and be a menace when he's out there defensively.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thanks, guys.